What's up guys, my name is Ace, and welcome back to Maps Exposed. This is a series where I share all the lines of sight, wall runs, as well as any other secret spots that I know of on every map in Infinite Warfare. In today's episode, we're going to be covering the map Retaliation. Let's get into it. Alright, so let's get into the spots, and let's start it off by the C flag over here. As most people know, that window over there is a hot spot for campers. A lot of times you're going to have somebody sitting up there, and they've got a pretty good position there. They don't have too much cover. Most of the time people would challenge them from here, which is, I mean, it's still a good gunfight because you have better cover than they do. But at the same time, that's exactly where they expect you to be. So instead, what I like to do is if you come all the way back over here, you can jump up on top of this right here. And there you go. Perfect line of sight over top of that truck there. They don't usually look all the way back here for you, and you'll be able to pick them off there. You can also do it by jumping up on this area right here, and you can peek over top. And then I have another spot, or a couple spots actually down here, if you want to go for an extreme long shot with a sniper rifle. All the way back behind these boxes here, you can see a little bit into there. And then more so, I like to use this one pushing out of spawn oftentimes, is I'll just look over top of this van with an assault rifle, or maybe a sniper rifle. And usually they won't see you through there because you're in a dark tunnel, and also you've got really good cover with this van here, so they'll barely be able to see you, and you'll win this gunfight almost every single time. Another thing all the way back in this corner is if you get spawn trapped back here and you think enemies are over there and you're coming off of spawn this way, instead of coming up these stairs like this and then peeking over like this, which is exactly what they expect you to do, you have kind of decent cover there. What I like to do is jump up on this railing and then come up like this. This allows me to show exactly as much of myself as I want to show to the enemies here. So as I come up here, I can check, see if enemies are there. That's a really common spot for them to be, or maybe just somewhere in that street. I can also kind of peek over towards this door here, and I can come up like this and just have a look as I come out of spawn. Now, another thing I wanted to point out are these barricades right here. They're actually very effective cover, and most people just stand like this and look over the top of them, which isn't a terrible idea, but if you crouch, it's the perfect height. It's designed for this, and you can shoot through this crack here, and then you're exposing a lot less of yourself. But keep in mind, if the enemy is using a ballistic weapon, they can shoot directly through these. They'll just lose a little bit of bullet damage. So you're not completely safe or anything behind these, but it does offer you some pretty good cover, and a lot of times people won't see you looking through that crack right there. There's also another one of these on the other side of the map, but I'll show that to you guys once we get over there. Now, one other thing that can happen if you're back at the C spawn is enemies will just be like sitting over in that corner there, just watching this doorway like a hawk. And they'll be like trapping you back in your spawn. You'll try and push through here, and they'll just kill you every time because they're pre-aimed and ready for you. So what I like to do to check that is I come up here. Obviously, I make sure this side of the map is clear and check window as well. Once that's clear, I jump up like this. There you go. Great line of sight over top of the van. They don't normally expect that, and you'll be able to pick them off because they have no cover in here. One other thing over in this area, if you happen to get spawn trapped back here and you have enemies that are in this long tunnel here, a lot of times they'll be able to pick you off if you come through here because they kind of have the cover of all this stuff that's helping them out, and they will oftentimes pin you back in your spawn from there. So if that happens, all you have to do is come up to this side of the map where these stairs are and then pre-aim like this, and there you go. You'll win that gunfight every single time because they have no cover at all, and you have excellent cover right here. Now, getting over here, I just wanted to point out with these curved wall runs, there's one on each side of the map here. If you jump up nice and high, you can use it as a check spot as you're wall running around. So if you catch it nice and high like this, I can actually check in towards the C flag as I come down on my natural wall run. Same thing goes on the other side of the map. Another thing I wanted to point out here is if you have enemies towards the C flag and you know that you're pretty well safe over here and you know they're like back in that burning building, what I like to do is hop up on this railing right here, and look at that. You get a line of sight right in towards the C flag. You can see almost half of the capture area of the C flag there, so if you're playing domination and somebody's capturing the C flag, you might be able to get a good line of sight on them here, and they don't expect this at all. Now right over here, I don't see enough people doing this. It seems fairly obvious to most people, but I don't see many people doing this. You can easily lay down under these cars, and you get a really nice line of sight to people that could potentially be over there, or at least their feet. And you can easily pick people off. So if you're having those gun battles with people that are on the other side of these vehicles, I see far too many people just like standing up and trying to challenge them face to face, which is like a 50-50 gunfight. Instead, lay down and shoot them in the feet. It works behind this car, works on this van right here. There's a really effective line of sight. This van also over to that area all the way over there because people will sometimes sit there. This car is the same as that car. It's all symmetrical, but a lot of times like you'll get people that are sitting behind this car here, and if you lay down under that van, you can get a line of sight on them. Another thing, on opening routes, I find somebody almost always wedges themselves in this corner right here because they think it's a solid spot. They do this, and they might catch you if you go prone here. So if they're really paying attention to under the van, they might catch you. But a lot of times they're looking up and waiting for somebody to jump over the van. So you'll be able to pick them off if you just lay and look underneath the van to shoot them, like this. Now, another thing on this side of the map right here, of course, pretty much everybody knows that this is a wall run that goes from there to there. But another spot that I really like to use, I pointed this out in my long shot spot video, is I jump up like this. It gives you much better cover looking over this bridge area than just like standing out here, standing behind a car or something like that. And it also works from the other side of the map over here. I'll just show you real quick. If you jump up like this, there you go. Great line of sight over there. You can pick people off as they come through there. And you've got much better cover than them. Also, it allows you to keep an eye on this wall run here and make sure this whole side of the map is locked down. Now, getting over towards the A flag, first off, I wanted to point out, here's that other barricade like we had on the other side. So you can crouch here and you can look towards people that are coming through there. And another thing I wanted to show you, this one is not the most practical spot, but I just thought it was kind of neat and I wanted to point it out for you guys. So honestly, I don't see anybody using this in a real game, but you can very easily see the A flag in domination by jumping on top of this pole like this, and you can shoot them through there and they'll have no clue what hit them. Like I said though, the chances of that being an actual practical spot, the stars basically have to align to make sure that you're actually safe to jump up here and not have to worry about anybody over here or here or here. Basically, your enemies have to be like only on the A flag there. And even then, it takes a little bit of time to set up, like you got to come up to the pole and then jump up to it. But it would make for a pretty cool kill. Now, getting into this area here, this thing can be used in a lot of ways. First off, if the enemies are coming up the stairs from the B flag, you could like stand right here and use this for cover, but that's still kind of a fair gunfight because they can kind of head glitch the stairs there as they come up. You can also come up like this to get a slight height advantage, or even better, if you jump up here and then you just wedge yourself up towards this barrel and press X once, it just pops you up onto this little ledge like this, and you can actually see a portion of the capture area of the B flag. So you might be able to use this to defend the B flag. So if you happen to be in this area and you just hear losing the B flag, you can quickly pop up here and then pop up like that, and you might be able to get a line of sight on them there. If not, you'll have to push up and be a bit more aggressive. Now coming the other direction, if you're attacking towards the A flag, I see far too many people just coming around this corner and trying to challenge people and not having any cover. Really, really simple. Just pop up like this, and there you go. You can strafe around using a bit of cover here. You can crouch, and that gives you at least some cover. It's not the best cover in the world, but it's at least some cover. Same thing goes when coming around this corner. Now, if you come around this corner like this, you still do have pretty good cover, so this isn't a terrible choice. But instead, you can pop up here, get a bit of a height advantage, and still have the cover of this here. Now, getting over to the B flag area, this one's pretty obvious, but I don't see very many people taking advantage of this. If you jump up here, you can have great cover to the people that are going to be coming from those stairs area. So if you're defending the B flag, or you just happen to be pushing through here, and you know enemies are coming off of spawn and going to be pouring through these stairs area here, it's much better to be up here than just be on the ground like this, which is what I see most people still doing. Also, this seems like a really minor thing, but it's actually helped me a lot in games once I figured out this bar here doesn't actually block you. You can jump right through it. It's invisible. I believe this one is as well, but I mean, you're not normally going to be jumping all the way up there. These other bars aren't invisible, so you will run into them if you're trying to jump. But the significance behind that is a lot of times I want to check towards this window here to see if somebody's looking there, or I want to check stairs like this. And instead of coming around and then jump shotting, I can actually initiate my jump shot from here and just jump right through that. So I can take my enemies off guard a little bit more effectively by doing that. This really applies only to the people that like to jump shot though. Now over here, this might seem very, very obvious. This is a common camper spot, so just be aware of this. You might have people like laying in here and trying to defend the B flag, so always be aware of people that could be in there. And some people still didn't know that you can actually hop up right on top of here. This isn't really the best place to be most of the time, but there's a lot of people that just don't know that you can do that, and therefore people might like go prone up here and you might not be able to find them, especially in hardcore game modes where you don't have a kill cam. So that's going to wrap it up for Maps Exposed on Retaliation. Let me know in the comment section below which one of the maps you'd like me to cover next, and I will leave a link to the playlist down below. I've already covered, I believe, 4 maps, so make sure you go check those out. I've been seeing a lot of people recommend maps that I've already covered, so please check the playlist out first to see if I've already covered the map, and then let me know which one you'd like me to cover next. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.